The Newsday continues here on One News Now. I'm Riza Diaz. Some small businesses are making necessary tweaks to their operations after the Philippines reported its first monkeypox case. Brian Castillo with a story.
Delivery rider Jake started his ukay-ukay business as a sideline. However, selling used clothes may not be viable now after the country recorded its first monkeypox case.
Wala ang problema. Safety ang unahin mo. Safety mo para sa mga anak mo. Kaso, paano naman yung kakainin nyo? Siyempre, kailangan mo rin magtinda.
Since monkeypox is transmitted through close skin contact, some laundry shops are also taking extra precaution in handling their customers' clothes.
Hindi halo-halo kasi isang customer, isang machine. Para security ang mga laba at saka naglalaba. Minsan kabahan pero mag-ingat talaga. Siyempre nag-ingat kami sa trabaho kasi hindi natin alam kung mayroon kung wala.
Infectious disease expert Dr. Ranjin Solante said that while it's possible to transmit monkeypox through clothes, it still depends on the circumstances. He added that monkeypox is not as transmissible as COVID-19.
So you should be with that particular individual for a longer period of time, or you may be touching the skin lesions and then touching your face or touching the clothing, the beddings of that individual, and then touching your face.
The World Health Organization says most of the monkeypox cases in other countries involve men having same-sex partners. But this does not necessarily mean that monkeypox can be considered as a sexually transmitted disease.
It's just proper to say that instead of sexually transmitted infection, it can be acquired because of a close, intimate contact, and that also includes sex.
People can also be infected with monkeypox virus through droplets, such as the saliva. In case one exhibits symptoms such as fever, headache, sore throat, chills, and rashes, suspected patients are advised to immediately seek medical attention. If confirmed to be infected with the virus, patients need to isolate for 3 or more weeks until skin lesions heal and scabs disappear. Health experts also recommend the continued practice of minimum health protocols. This means the wearing of face masks, avoiding physical contact, and frequent hand washing are still helpful measures to curb the transmission of monkeypox. For News 5, Brian Castillo, we are One News.
Residents in Ilocos Province celebrated Mass outdoors this Sunday after the magnitude 7 earthquake dealt damage in several churches in the area. Churchgoers heard Mass at a covered court in Bantay, Ilocos Sur, while residents trooped to Plaza Burgos in Vigan after the Vigan Cathedral sustained damage from the quake earlier this week. A century-old church of the Iglesia Filipiniana Independiente in Ilocos Sur has also been closed off pending repairs. Meanwhile, clearing operations continue in other parts of the province. So far, only one lane of the Santa Lucia Salcedo Road is passable to motorists. In San Vicente, Ilocos Sur, large cracks along the shoreline were seen after Wednesday's earthquake. Now, we'll be back with more stories after the break. Keep it here on One News. You're still watching One News Now. I'm Riza Diaz. Some residents in the town of Tayum in Abra are opting to stay outside their homes, fearing more aftershocks. Mon Gualvez with the details.
Smashed walls, knocked down ceilings, tons of stuff lying around, and a lot of cracks everywhere. These are just some of the damages sustained by an Anao Integrated School from the magnitude 7 quake in Tayum, Abra. Teachers like Robert cannot help but get anxious, especially a magnitude 4.6 aftershock suddenly happened right as he was being interviewed.
Natatakot po kasi akong baka matabunan kami. So parang mas gusto na lang namin na dito sa labas magturo.
DepEd continues its monitoring and assessment on the situation of schools as classes are slated to begin August 22. They're studying whether to delay the start of classes in affected areas or to put makeshift classrooms in what they call tent-type spaces. Aside from schools, there were also heavy damages on the Church of Tayum or the St. Catherine of Alexandria Church, which was built in 1803. Part of the bell tower crumbled and the church itself almost got halved because of the long crack that suddenly appeared in the middle. The church is set for restoration, but while it's not yet happening, churchgoers pray that there will no longer be any more damages as aftershocks continue. The shaking also continues in the town of Lagangilang. The municipal hall here is off limits to employees because of the damages. That's why they're currently holding office in open spaces and the garage.
Siyempre may mga aftershocks pa. We were also advised by the provincial government na as much as possible, hindi muna kami papasok doon. So mas gusto namin doon sa opisina, nakakatrabaho naman kami sa labas.
In Barangay Nagtipulan, the effect of the quake was very pronounced in the chapel from the outside to the altar. Almost every house in sight also got damaged by the quake. Residents fear their homes would totally fall off, especially because aftershocks continue.
Kung kailangan gibain, sir, kailangan gibain. Kasi delikado na din po yun. Ano na yung mga pader doon, may crack na din. Kasi pag itutuloy mo yan, lagyan mo lang ng baka kunting lindol lang.
Yun nga.
Natumba sa'yo. Di namin alam kung paano ayusin. Kasi ngayon, wala nang pera.
Like in other places, people here choose to stay outside their homes. One of them is 83-year-old Philomena. She has a lot of wounds and bruises on her arms and legs after hollow blocks fell on her during the quake. She believes her faith in God saved her. Fivox meanwhile clarifies that not everyone needs to stay outside their homes.
Mahirap sa labas kasi yung weather, yung mga insekto na nandyan. So para lang maging, at syempre pag nasa labas ka hindi ka makatulog talaga ng maayos. Baka pwede na silang pumasok para makatulog sila ng mas maayos, mas maging kampante sila. Yung mga aftershocks, sabi ko nga, mangyayari siya at mangyayari. Kung ano yung ginawa nila nung malakas na lindol, kung nag-drop cover and hold sila, ganun pa rin yung gagawin nila.
In Abra Cervantes Road, we saw a payloader pushing off a huge chunk of rock that's blocking a part of the road. While in other roads, there are also big rocks as well. These are just remnants of the landslides that happened after the huge quake. On Baay Bridge, there were huge cracks branching off to the sides caused by the quake. This bridge connects the towns of Lagangilang and Bukay. Part of the bridge is impassable as authorities plug the cracks with soil to temporarily avert seepage of water. Due to the extent of the quake, it left long and huge cracks here in Baay Bridge. An even bigger problem is part of its wall separated from the actual bridge. If in the event there would be a strong aftershock, chances are not only the wall will fall off, but also the entire part of this bridge. Ay, spill pala. Alagang Kapatid Foundation has also started giving away relief packs to residents affected by the quake. For News 5, Mon Gualvez, we are One News.
And those are the top stories of the hour. Join us later at 1:30 in the afternoon as we continue to monitor the day's biggest stories. You can also catch One News on Signal Play app. Register for a free account now at www.signalplay.com and stream One News live anytime, anywhere. I'm Riza Diaz. Mask on, wash hands, and stay safe, Philippines. We are One News.